Okay. Hello. I'm very awkward. Nice to meet you. I'm just kidding. Well, actually, I'm not. But, my name is actually Dana, and I'm here to talk about the Demon's Souls remake. A couple theories I have about it, and my reasons behind them. Demon's Souls remake. Oh my god! I actually cried when I saw the reveal. I know I didn't record my reaction, shame on me, but like, I was at my fiance's mom's house watching it on my phone. What do you expect me to do? Like, in the first few seconds when they're just showing the remade shots of the landscapes, I didn't really catch on, but the second I heard the gong, oh, I started fucking bawling! And Dalen walked in and he was like, why are you, oh, they remade Demon's Souls, didn't they? And I was like, yes! I'm really about to play this game for the 4th time. But it's technically not the same game because it's getting a remake. And remaking things means that things are gonna be probably kind of different, even though the developer also seems to be pretty true to their original source materials when it comes to their other remakes. So it's hard to say exactly what we're gonna get in this remake, and I want to talk about it. So first off, I want to get the basics out of the way with what everybody already knows. The Land of Giants is possibly, most likely, going to be returning. The 6th and broken Archstone. Well, it's not actually the 6th Archstone, it's more like the 4th. But, in an interview from before Bluepoint taking on the project, they had discussed the fact that their studio is interested in exploring the creative talents of their studio and their members, and so it gives us plenty of reason to believe the 6th Archstone, not being something that the rest of the world has seen before, they have complete creative freedom over what things are gonna get to look like, for the most part anyway, and so that would be even more incentive for them to take on this remake. And with the Land of Giants returning, I do see, obviously, us having new NPCs and new NPC quest lines, and regardless of whether or not we do end up seeing the Broken Archstone remade and the Land of Giants returning, I do still see us getting a new NPC and or quest line just for the fact of there is unused asset and lore regarding the Filthy Woman's son in the Valley of Defilement, and given the fact that there are assets for this and not just lore behind it and what the Filthy Woman has to speak of when you talk to her in the Valley of Defilement, and given what we just discussed, I do imagine them jumping on the idea of being able to create a new NPC and quest line based on that lore, given the opportunity. And especially if we see the Land of Giants come to life, I do imagine us also getting new weapons and new weapon upgrade materials. First of all, with a new Archstone, we're going to need new weapons that are relevant to the Archstone. But also, in terms of upgrade materials, all upgrade materials are relevant to each of the Archstones. You can only find certain materials within each of the Archstones. And they all vary in type from section to section within the Archstone. So there's actually like 2 or 3 different types of stones within one Archstone half the time. And speaking of new, I think that with a new Archstone, we'll see new items. But not just items relevant to that Archstone. There was also a code in the Demon's Souls files for an Executioner's Grounds key. Something that you possibly had to find in the world to open the key to the Executioner Meralda versus having to build your world tendency to white to get it to open. There's been speculation as to whether or not you could just find the key in-game and open it regardless of what your world tendency was, or you had to achieve white world tendency in order to get the key to spawn, to then find it, to then open the gate, to then fight Executioner Meralda. With how construed the character and world tendency was in the original Demon's Souls, I can definitely see them revamping the system to make it more understandable and accessible. At the same time, not really, just because it is Dark Souls and it is meant to be a challenge and it is meant to be confusing, but at the same time, given the complaints, I can imagine them remaking it and revamping it and possibly implementing these changes. So therefore, we could possibly end up having to build our world tendency to find this key to open this gate instead of just building our world tendency and then the gate just opens. Because it makes more sense when we open the gate ourselves. Right? Now, in the remake trailer, we saw what looked like one of the skeleton swordsmen in the Shrine of Storms, and yet he was on fire. And so that's that's not particularly relevant to the Shrine of Storms. Now, it could have been something that was made purposefully just for the trailer and nothing but the trailer. But at the same time, it's like, why would they include a flaming skeleton in the trailer if it wasn't relevant to the actual game? So I can imagine at the same time that enemy locations will be changed. We may see enemies intermingle between archstones, and or just have their locations within their archstones just completely rearranged. But not only might their locations be changed, we'll either also see new and or completely revamped enemies. We might see the exact same enemies as before, but also not, like they've evolved or something, or they've with like all the other enemies, you know? And if we do see new enemies, I can definitely see them adding mimics. Demon Souls actually didn't have mimics. It did have a couple of like traps in terms of, you know, chests that weren't actually chests. Like, they weren't even the shape of a chest, so like I don't know if you could even count them as mimics, and they were exclusive to like one area. But like, there are unused assets of a design for mimics in code and files for Demon Souls, so they did have the idea before, they just didn't go with it until Dark Souls, given the fact that it is a staple to the series. And I definitely see them being perfect for the Tower of Latria specifically. I don't see any reason for them to not add any mimics to the game. I also think that we're going to see the addition of plunging attacks, or at least I hope we do. If you watch my Heckin' Rage through, like in the first minute, maybe two, I attempt a plunging attack just to be like, oh, yep, no, that doesn't work. And I think I try again later too, and it, yep, still doesn't work. I also think that we will get a debuffed magic system, because basically the magic in this game is so OP that it is deemed the easiest game in the franchise purely for this reason. The second you can get your hand on a spell, you've pretty much beat the game. And with that, I think that they will also add new spells, specifically a transformation/masking spell. There is an unused spell in the files known as Black Ghost, and with that name, it leads me to believe that we have a idea, a concept, a little fart in the wind of the very first transformation spell that we see most commonly in Dark Souls 3, regarding like turning into statues and trees and all that crap. Yeah, something like that. I think that we'll see something like that included in the remake, or at least I hope we do. I think that would be really fun. I haven't played Dark Souls 3 yet. Well, kind of. I haven't played most of Dark Souls 3 yet, so I haven't really gotten to play with that too much, and I think that would be really cool if they included that in Demon Souls. Now, in terms of co-op, I think that we will be seeing 3-player co-op and 3v3 PvP, for the fact of, well, Dark Souls Remastered got it. It originally had a 2-player co-op and a 2v2, and then it got an upgrade with the remaster, so I don't see why we won't get that with the remake. Kind of spinning off of an earlier idea about enemy locations being changed, I also think that item locations will be changed, because, well, while this may turn out to be a perfect frame-by-frame remake, at the same time, a lot of the players are going to be returning players, not just new players, and so therefore we want it to be a new game for us too, and just at least make something different if it's going to be a perfect frame-by-frame remake. I think it would be hilarious if they don't get removed and they specifically get included, but they are definitely going to remove the dupe glitch and probably fix the skips. There is this dupe glitch involving Stockpile Thomas where you can press a bunch of buttons and then just dupe 99 of whatever item you want, pretty much. Not only that, there was a skip in the Shrine of Storms first world that basically let you skip to the very end of the section at the very beginning of the section. And that completely just abolishes the point of the whole section. I don't think that was intended to be there, and that was just a complete accident, but who knows? It might have been intentional, and From Software just rewards observational and experimental players, but it's a very well-known skip, so I Speaking of the dupe glitch, especially if they do happen to keep it for any reason, I definitely imagine them creating an inventory health item carry cap, basically. As in, you can't carry 99 sons of bitches all the time, or just ever, and just never fear death, because that's what I did, at least on my 3rd playthrough. I earned it! Fuck you. I struggled through 2 playthroughs to just be OP as fuck on my 3rd. Leave me be. Regardless, with a inventory healing item cap of 99 and having 99 full moon grasses. Is that what they are? New moon grasses? I don't know. The ones that heal all of your health. Especially the ones that alleviate status ailments. On top of it. You don't necessarily need 99 of those unless you really need to get good. Anyway, the most you can carry in any other Souls game is Bloodborne, and that is 24 blood vials maximum, and that's with things equipped. That's not base, like, without sacrificing other buffs to your shit. Anyway, Bloodborne you normally get 20 blood vials. Dark Souls you get 5 to 20 Estus, depending. I can imagine them making a cap of like 20 or maybe 30 at most of each type of grass. But watch them just be hardcore for no reason and say that you can only carry 20 grass at all. That would be some shit. And speaking of inventory, Demon Souls has a fun thing called inventory weight. So basically you can only carry so many items on you, which is logical. But I don't like it. And apparently a lot of other people don't either, so I think that they might remove it. They should. And just like what they did with Dark Souls Remastered, I think that they will make a larger soul level matchmaking gap. Lower level players can get assistance from higher level players and vice versa. Friends that just want to play together, that like this friend put like hella hours into this game and this friend is just starting, can actually play together. And for completionist's sake, we need to fix the crystal lizard spawning situation. You get like 4 chances per game, per lizard, and they all drop something different. And they all sometimes don't drop the thing either. The last item I want to discuss is probably something else that you've already heard about, and that is the idea of a true death / permadeath system. There is something in the code for the files of the original Demon Souls regarding exactly this, and I'm not sure if it's speculation or if it was actually in the code. Basically, it would be something that would work as though once you die in soul form specifically, then all of your items and all of your souls and everything and all of your stats and progress gets reset back to where you started, and that's that. There's speculation that it's permanent. There's speculation that once you get to where you died, you can pick all that stuff back up and continue like normal. And then there's also speculation on a different note regarding that you don't even have to be in soul form to make permadeath happen. When you just have to die at all, regardless of your form. Who knows, boys? This is a full ground up remake, and I'm excited to see what comes of it. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, like what you think of my ideas, and if there's any other things that I haven't mentioned that you think we might see. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well on that down below. Otherwise, what other games for the PlayStation 5 are you looking forward to? I'm most excited personally for this and Resident Evil 8. I'm almost done with Final Fantasy VII Remake, finally. I kind of got distracted with Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Gameplay video coming eventually? Possibly. I don't know. I have to like the video for me to upload it. But once I beat Final Fantasy VII Remake, then I'm gonna finally play Resident Evil 3 Remake. And if you'd like to interact with me elsewhere on the internet, I have a Discord and a Twitter and an Instagram all linked down below. And that's that. Okay, bye.